And now we are live. I didn't swear this week, and I'm actually kind of proud of myself.
You did.
So,
I'm going to say that seems to be your thing. It's oh shit, we're live.
like I said, they used to give me a countdown, and now they don't. It just says you're going live, and then boom, you're live. So
I'm going shit.
everyone shush before I mute you all. So we are live, and welcome to Talking Tech episode 15, the post MWC crash. So this is the week after MWC. I'm very delirious. I haven't slept very well, but doesn't matter. We've
And
actually
you
got.
didn't go to MWC.
And I didn't even go MWC. I just don't sleep anyway. So joining me this week, as always, I have Chris Wallace and Mark. Oh my God, Mark! I've forgotten your last name.
Ramos.
There we go.
Mark, is Audacity running?
Yes, it is.
Thank God. After those of you who don't know, the reason last week's didn't sound quite as maybe crisp or clear. Mark, would you like to tell people what happened?
Well, I had some audio issues at the beginning. The optical out, for some reason, on the computer just wasn't outputting anything. A restart still didn't do it, so I was late in joining, and it was a bit kind of rushed. So computer restarted, powered up, threw myself into the Hangouts, kind of going, oh, hello, and completely forgot to start Audacity. And it didn't occur to me until right at the absolute very end, where I think it was Chris mentioned,
Yep.
oh, that's just coming up to blah, 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 and Audacity. And I went, oh.
So,
Yeah,
we're all recording this week, and we should have a high quality version for the people that listen. So, I think we're just gonna start. So first off is this crazy dual-purpose charging cable that is currently on Kickstarter. And when I say dual-purpose, it is micro USB and Lightning at the same time, but not at the same time as in like it's a USB adapter and you put like a Lightning thing on. It is literally Lightning one side, you turn it over, and it is micro USB.
Yeah, and just to point out, it's not like one of the ones where you have the little additional thing on the end. That, you know, it's a weird little combination plug.
And
that
it is
magically works with both.
And it's Wi-Fi.
It's not MiFi certified.
I got the cable is it is being Wi-Fi certified. Yeah, I misread that.
But no. Yeah, I have to say, I look at this cable and think, oh my God, that would have been so amazing if that came out 5 years ago.
Yes.
Yes. And like I said, this plays into my theory as to that there are certain patents on micro B that have expired, which is why we're now seeing like the reversible cables, we're now seeing the combo cables.
But don't patents last considerably longer?
It depends. If it's a certain standard, like everyone has license and is a certain thing, they can be shorter.
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of seems that all these, reversible and this one are coming out just as we're about to wholesale move to USB-C anyway, and I kind of feel like, really nice idea, but it's like, well, you're kind of like 5 years late.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. As someone who I've got a reversible micro USB cable here, and I've used Type-C. They both have their benefits. The main benefit for Type-C is that it supports more power and more standards. The main benefit to reversible micro USB cables is micro USB is everywhere.
Yeah.
It already has an installed user base, and
yes.
The hardest thing about using a reversible micro USB cable is telling yourself there is no wrong way to plug it in. And for like the first week, you'll always plug it in like what's it called, logo side up.
Yeah, there's an issue with what you're saying.
Why am I doing it anymore? Because there is no penalty to plug it in the other way, and then you'll probably spend like 10 minutes just doing that and like plugging it in both ways. It's on.
I still check.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, like, because I've got one in the office in my bedroom, it doesn't really bother me anymore, but it did take a while. So it is on Kickstarter. It's called LM Cable. I think they wanted like $5,000, and they've like blown past it. They wanted 5,000 Australian dollars, which I think is about £1.
Hang on, 5,000 was that?
They wanted 5,000 Aussie dollars, and they're at 22,000.
Hang on,
So they
Australia dollar to GDP.
This is taking a lot longer than it should. You should just have like
500. I put 500,000 Australian dollars.
Yeah, actually, remember the conversation we were having the other week about Cortana? It's one of the things that I discovered. You can just ask Cortana how much is.
Yeah.
And
just over $2,500. Not a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like the Aussie dollar exchange rate is actually like really good. It's where the pound to the dollar was a couple years ago.
Yeah, so one Aussie dollar is 51p.
Right. So yeah, it's on Kickstarter. It's blown past its funding goal. I want one. I'll probably just end up buying one because I don't think they're going to send me a review in it.
Well, just send them your mic flip review.
The thing is, I don't actually have any iDevices, so I'd have to borrow them from like siblings and stuff. I was like, look, can you hold it here, and then I'll hold the phone separate, and I'll just like unplug it.
Well, they can send me one. I've got an iDevice sitting.
Yeah, Mark's got
one. Yeah, but Mark, then I wouldn't have it.
Cable whore.
Yeah, oh, totally. I just drawers and drawers of cables.
Yeah, no, I have millions of cables, but to be honest. Yeah, you know, when you buy like them for what, like 50p a pound to go from China, and you just order 10 or 20 at a time. I can live with it.
Back to 20.
That is the one thing that's worrying me about the move to USB-C is the first year or two of these £1 cables being like physically dangerous.
Nah, I don't think they will be.
Did you not hear about Benson's pixel being fried? Like, literally fried.
But as long as we've got him on the case, we're all good.
Yeah, no, the only USB cables USB-C cables I'm buying are literally Benson approved one on Amazon. Like, the guy literally sacrificed his $1,500 like pixel by accident in testing this.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure if I was going to be powering a laptop or something of considerable wattage.
No, he wasn't charging it. It was plugged into an amp meter, and it was the output from his Chromebook.
Really?
And it fried the tester and his Chromebook.
Wow.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying about them being like it was ground was wired to power and power was wired to ground or something like that. Or like each end was wired like the wrong way. Mm-hmm. It was like a physically like a dangerous cable. And this is the thing that's scaring me. And like micro USB cables are safe because they've been out for
yonks.
Yeah.
2007, 2008, I think.
Yonks.
Look at my mic clip review.
I don't know. This is still either way. It's not something that I'm looking at as with concern.
Until I have a certain amount of devices with USB, I probably shouldn't worry about it. And if I do, I'll just buy like certified cables from Google or Apple, seeing as they both sell USB-C devices. So
Apple.
Yeah, the Mac.
Oh yeah.
So Chris, do you want to talk about this second topic?
Okay, so everybody knows Periscope. If you don't, have you been living under a rock? If so, get out from your rock. And Facebook launched Facebook Live Video on iOS back a couple of months ago sometime. It was Facebook, iOS, the two things that you don't give a shit about.
Certain people do.
Certain people, but
if I remember, live streaming was also only for like celebrities or like verified people.
Yes, it wasn't this. Yeah, that's going back in further. Yeah, it was for celebrities only. Vin Diesel had it. Then it came to your standard everyday Joe, and on iOS, and now it's coming to Android.
Now it is literally every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yeah.
So
Tom, Dick, and Harry, and every man in between.
So this is again. I don't know why you would use this unless. I mean, there are people that are very heavily in the Facebook ecosystem and not the Twitter ecosystem. And for them, I guess, because I don't think Periscope integrates into Facebook, does it?
No. One thing I will say about it is that it takes your stream and archives it on your profile for till the end of time, basically.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know. I could see that as being relatively handy in certain cases. I mean, if you have, say, random relatives on, the other side of the world where it's in a highly inconvenient time zone, especially if you're wanting to, show off a new baby or whatever, which seems to be the thing you do on Facebook, then, if you want to, make your little video of little, whatever the child...
Boy George.
Stick it on Facebook. There you go. And Granny, when she logs, wakes up 12 hours later, can log on to Facebook and have a look.
Or just for people that don't go on Facebook very often. So let's say you've got your entire family on there, and you don't really check Facebook that often. To not have that 24-hour window, you just keep scrolling and scrolling, and you come across it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
or more realistically,
Periscope gives you the option to save it to your device, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's to your device, so someone...
Yeah, but if it's on your device, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. It's an MP4 file.
Yeah, I suppose you could re-upload it.
I could upload it to YouTube if I wanted, and YouTube has an even bigger audience than Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, if I really wanted, I could put it on YouTube and then free boost it on Facebook. It doesn't like.
There are people in the world who, as far as they're concerned, the internet is basically just Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that I think is probably more who this is aimed at.
Didn't they release stats a little while ago that's 1.2 billion people have Facebook or something like that? It's something crazy high.
Like that.
Oh yeah,
because it was when they announced that WhatsApp had reached 1 billion users.
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious. The fact that I think the day or the day after that WhatsApp said we've got 1 billion, Telegram said they've got 100,000, and it's like, well, you tried.
Oh, just whilst we're on the subject.
No, it was more than 100,000.
No, I'm pretty sure it was 100,000. It was it's like 10%.
You just mentioned WhatsApp.
100,000 or 100 million, I can't remember. Telegram active users.
Yeah, you've just mentioned WhatsApp, so whilst you're looking up Telegram active users, there's a beta for WhatsApp on Android now.
I'm part of it.
I probably should. It's just a thing. I didn't put it in the sheet, but you just tricked my memory. So we'll have it.
No. 100 million.
Oh, 100 million.
100 million monthly active users.
I mean, it's still 10% of WhatsApp, but still, good job.
Yeah, although Telegram is the kind of the niche, secure.
I must say, Telegram has a much nicer app. It's a lot smoother. The animations look better. It doesn't have, I'd say, some of the nicer features of WhatsApp, like voice calling. But
yeah, because we need voice calling on our phones.
Look.
Tom, do you not use the 3-in-Touch app?
No, because 3-in-Touch is a pile of wank.
It works though. That's the thing. It works.
No.
You could just use the standard dialer and dial.
That's okay when you have Signal.
No, Christopher, you do not use 3-in-Touch. The app that makes itself your default text messaging app. No.
Oh yeah, no. It's not
I do when I have no Signal and Wi-Fi is my only option.
It should be done how EE does it, and it should be done on their back end. It's a pain in the ass where they have to certify, they have to certify the devices. But I should not have to install an app on my phone. It should not have to make itself its default dialer on my default messaging app just to do Wi-Fi calling. No.
I will admit, it has been useful. Where I used to work used to be a fucker, and I mean a fucker for cutting everybody's signal, every network in that particular area, because it was an old portal.
Was it literally a ditch?
No, that was a weird thing. It wasn't in a ditch. Just signal was terrible there, and they did have a SSID that I could connect to, and I did use the Wi-Fi calling app, and it did work.
Oh, it works. It's just terrible.
The design's a bit shit, and the way you have to deactivate it is shit. But it's got the bare essentials in it.
No. It is the bare essentials.
That's what I mean. It's got bare essentials. It works.
Like I said, if if it's me, I would much, because I already have Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp installed. I'm gonna, or Hangouts even. I will use the voice calling features built into them before I purposefully download 3InTouch ever again.
There it is, sat right on. That's not good a thing, but sat right on the end screen, out the way. Just there for an emergency.
Yeah,
Right,
I don't use it. I don't think I even have it installed. I think the last time I went to do anything with it, it huffed and bitched that the phone was rooted.
Yeah, it like failed to activate on rooted phones or something like that.
Yeah, which is like...
This is a perfectly untouched, non-rooted device, so might explain it. It worked.
Anyway, moving on before we annoy people. The reason we were speaking about this is because Facebook Messenger, which also has voice calling capabilities, is supposed to be getting ads soon. It, like, as annoying as this is going to be, it's not going to tank my usage of Facebook Messenger.
No.
Yeah, not going to affect mine either.
Huh?
One thing I will say is if they do they're getting ads, and they're supposed to be bringing SMS back, integrated into Facebook Messenger, I ain't doing it now.
Yeah,
I'll go back to stock HTC. I'm not having ads in my default bloody messaging client. Hint why I use Hangouts.
Use like Google Messenger, which is like just an SMS. That is a terrible name for like it should be messaging, not messenger. If I associate like messengers with like IM apps.
Yeah, that's what I.
Like, it should just be messaging. For like the default SMS stuff. Anyway, yeah. So they're kind of saying like, look, we're not going to confirm or deny this. Which means that it's probably going to happen.
If I remember the article, because it's not loading when I put it in, there was TechCrunch had a source that had some internal paperwork of Facebook that was talking about ads, and it looked fairly positive it was going to get it. So,
to be honest, is anyone surprised? I mean, did anyone think it was just going to be randomly free forever with no ads?
I mean, I'm pretty sure there are some people that thought that.
I did think, why haven't we had ads?
Because it's been so long.
We've just gone.
So
we just swept it under the rug.
I mean, I guess you kind of get used to something, and it's like people are, like or if you buy a new computer for your parents, and then you put ad block on it for them, and then for some reason it becomes disabled, and like ads are everywhere, they're kind of shocked.
Yeah.
If something's never had ads and then suddenly it does, it can become quite jarring, even if they've never given it much thought.
Which reminds me, I need to install AdBlock. Thank you.
Just whitelist MobileTechTalk.
I have. I've got it.
Well, that's the important stuff. So, Chris, do you want to speak about this next one?
Yes. So, Mumbai have banned selfies, not selfie sticks, but actual physical selfies, because of related deaths in the key popular areas. So it turns out since 2014, 49 deaths have been linked to selfies. So that works out, this is going to make them laugh again, at 26.5 deaths a year.
How does half a person die? How does half a person... I mean, I know it can be like, out of 49, 26 died one year and blah, blah, blah. It's like, bullshit, I don't care.
Just averaging it out.
Because there are some like stats that say like 42.67%. It's like, how can 0.67% of a person die?
But no, so...
By the way, I fully stand behind the banning selfies, because I hate, like...
I don't agree with banning. I agree with banning them because
ban it with an iron fist.
I don't agree with banning them, but banning the selfie stick, yes.
To be honest, I don't kind of think that this is a sensible thing to do. I mean, one, it seems that all they've done is they've banned in certain areas.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not
if it was for some sort of security, if you're banning, people taking photos, of police stations, I could see that as being fairly legitimate. But this is saying people are so stupid that they're taking photos in completely stupid places and getting themselves killed.
Do you disagree with it? Because
But you're trying to ban stupid people from being stupid. If these people are stupid enough to get themselves killed while taking a selfie, do you think banning it is going to actually make any difference to these morons?
oh no, they're gonna die anyway. But it's
Yeah.
like
It's
they're
like
they're gonna win a Darwin Award either way.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's going to be like the hoverboard ban in New York. In New York City, they're supposed to be banned. If you watch Casey Neistat's vlog, you'll see in one of them, I can't remember which one it is, you'll see him, he'll go up to a copper. That's a bit British there, ain't it, a copper? He'll go up to a policeman, whatever you want to fucking call him, with his hoverboard and go, is this illegal? And the copper says, yes, but I'm not going to enforce it.
But they can't enforce it.
Yeah, I mean, this is just ridiculous, really.
It's like the whole like segways and electric skateboards and like all of this stuff that are also illegal in the UK, by the way, because they're too fast for the pavement, but they're too slow to be certified on the road. Blah blah blah. People are going to do it anyway.
Oh God, yeah.
They're unenforceable.
Yes, and I think they know that these laws are unenforceable. I think more than anything, I can imagine this is the Mumbai Council essentially indemnifying themselves from getting sued by some idiot who's tried to take a selfie and's fallen off the side of a bridge and trying to sue them because
or like a family member.
They shouldn't have been able to dangle themselves up off the side of a bridge.
Never mind the fact they were stupid enough to dangle themselves off a bridge anyway.
Yeah. This is just we banned people doing these things, so hey, basically, if you do it, you can't hold us responsible.
Yeah.
I think that's all it is. It's not a biggie. They've banned it, so it's going to be unenforceable.
Yeah. Like I said, there's not really much more to say, so I think we should probably just move on before we piss us off even more, because again, it's such a stupid thing and it's unenforceable. So next up, we have news that the OnePlus 3, the fourth device, strangely, from OnePlus, will launch in late Q2, so pretty much half the year, second half of the year, 2016. It's not too long away.
No.
Don't really have much more to say.
That's all we seem to know.
Yeah, we don't really know anything else.
Story. Why is this a story?
Because it was 18 months between the OnePlus 1 and the OnePlus 2.
Yeah, but no, but if I was...
They made such a big deal about it being more than a year when everyone else is like 12 months. They made like a super big deal about them saying that they took their time to design the OnePlus 2. And now we're like 9 months later, it's like, the OnePlus 3.
Yeah, I didn't like
if I was to say it's a story that, the Samsung Galaxy S8 is coming out next year, it's like, that's not a story.
It would be a story if Samsung had historically prided themselves on their lead time.
Happened once.
But they lauded, they very much, to the press and to the reviewers, look, we took our time with the OnePlus 2. It was like we found the right material. We made the sandstone back fit perfect. We did the what they called style swap covers better this time. They really played up the fact that it wasn't your standard yearly refresh.
Yeah. They gave nice excuses as to why it was later than what they'd originally wanted.
Oh yeah,
but it's like it happened once. I mean, this is not like massive precedent setting.
I mean, like I said, I kind of want to see it, but the last two the first and third OnePlus phones have kind of annoyed me. So maybe it's like every other.
Like Windows.
No, I mean, I think
Windows distributions. It was.
Yeah, there you go.
XP was good. Vista was shit. 7 was good. 8 was good in my opinion, but the majority it was shit. 10 is on the fence. So
10's great. I love 10.
It's great, but it's kind of the people I asked. There's like a dead split down the middle. To
me, 10 is going to be 7, but at the moment it feels like mid-year Vista, whereas it's not quite as buggy as early Vista, but it's still got far too many bugs than it should have.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Win 10 at the moment. The OnePlus 3. I didn't like the 2. I kind of liked the X, and I actually did quite enjoy the OnePlus 1, But the thing that killed me, the thing that killed the OnePlus One for me was because they were so inept at customer support. So
I've not found any OnePlus device. When the OnePlus One came out, I know a couple of people that picked it up, and I was like, that looks pretty. I kind of want, the screen's big, it looks nice, it looked fairly crispy. I was like, I want one, but then invites.
It's so funny looking at a OnePlus One nowadays, which is what, it's 2 and a bit years old.
Yeah, something like
that. It had a first or second gen 1080p panel, and seeing how much it's changed from then to now, I'm looking at like 5.5-inch 1080p panels from like this year or last year. It's so funny seeing the chasm in quality between the two.
I bought myself a OnePlus 2 this year.
Don't. There's too many problems with it. Even still,
I don't know what I'm gonna buy this year.
The fingerprint scanner on it seems to have gotten worse. Strangely enough.
The S6 is a tempting option, but.
Anyway, moving on, Chris. I swear to God, don't make me mute you again. So, YouTube now has another custom blurring tool. So basically, for people that want to do out on the street roving reporting and then speak to people but blur out their faces, it was that YouTube had a blurring tool in before, but it was kind of a pain in the ass. Like if the person moved too much or anything like that, you had to manually track it, and people got it wrong and whatever. Now Google has a tracking blur tool. So again, I think they show it with a car race type thing. They blur out the license plate or the back of the car, and then they show it going round some bends, and the blurred box just follows it. This is cool. It's very niche, and it's in the YouTube custom editor kind of thing. So
YouTube, not Studio.
YouTube
Creator.
YouTube
the Creator.
It's like YouTube's built-in video editor. That's terrible, but it has like some good royalty-free music.
Yes, it does.
It's now got a good blurring tool. This is cool for like the 5 people in the world that will use it.
Do you think that it's YouTube's way, that the blur tool is YouTube's way of trying to get people onto this Creator Studio?
No.
No.
The people that are going to need a blur tool, the first people are going to say, oh wow, I can get it for free. And then they're going to like become a big boy, do proper work, and then they're going to pay for good like real blurring software. That's it.
So it's more of a introduction.
It's more of a, I quickly need to blur something because, oh shit, I didn't get their permission to do this.
Yeah, I think this is Google have developed this for Street View. And they essentially just have it sitting there and like, well, hey, we've got this cool thing, let's let people use it.
We have this cool thing. We also have a platform full of people that don't know how to ask to do things.
Yeah.
So people that get sued or YouTube videos taken down because they show someone, I don't know, breastfeeding in the background or whatever.
I don't see what's wrong with that personally, but that's a whole different debate.
People will find things to get offended about, Christopher. So, again, I kind of want to try the blowing tool out, but I have no reason to. That's the thing, is I will probably never have a reason to, but I still kind of want to check it out.
I don't know. The only thing I can realistically see this as being some people in the world, finding this really useful is if you are a, amateur journalist, blogger, whatever, from somewhere in the Middle East, and you want to be able to do something, and you want to be able to auto blur faces. Yeah, okay, I could see this being useful for you, but yeah, for most people that dick around with YouTube, I mean, for making a cat video, oh no. Yeah, this is just Google have it sitting, and they've said, hey, you can have it and play with it. It's not really of use, I think, for most people.
This just in, by the way. Technic's SL1200 turntable costs $4,000.
Are you surprised?
Okay.
Kinda.
Would you like me to find you considerably more expensive turntables?
That's fine, but I don't know why I'm so surprised at it costing. I mean, is that not a lot for a turntable?
You can spend a lot more than that if you want to.
But I mean, like the general price, the ones that people are buying.
Well, the thing is, actually, that people who are buying turntables right now are people that are willing to throw some money at it.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're not talking about your 15-year-olds that want to have their little turntable, for their little stereo that came out of Curry's. It's people who either are older, quite considerably older, and who have old-standing vinyl collections, and they seem quite happy to spend the same amount on a turntable as other people would on a car. The other people who are doing it is the sort of DJ, or sort of people that want to think of themselves as DJs. And again,
people that call themselves DJs have never touched like a disc or anything like that. So they're a Spotify DJ, is what I call them.
Oh well, no. A lot of people are actually beginning to go back into vinyl.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah. Vinyl sales are going up.
Speaking of vinyl sales, I posted in the Slack chat. There is the soundtrack to the game Monument Valley has been released on 2 180-gram vinyls.
See? Crazy.
I don't even have a record player. I want to buy it and then these LPs.
I bet that
I am the ultimate user. I am the worst person in the world.
In some crazy person's, mixing whatever, the Monument Valley track will somehow get in there. And yeah, these people will be spending some serious money on turntables.
I
mean, I think it's retarded, but
I'm not gonna lie. I can get these on Spotify or Google Play Music. That's not the point. I kind of just want these 2 vinyl LPs, and I don't even have a turntable.
You mean you could get it on Google Play Music, but only on the devices that you can't deactivate over the course of the year?
You are so lucky you're still in this chat, Chris. I swear to God.
The thing is, I'm not even trying.
Move on to your next topic, sir.
I'm not even trying. I'm too good. Okay, so Link Bubble, or Brave Browser. Not much of a name really, but the hey ho is. So Link Bubble was brought and made, and for the longest time kept up to date by no other than Chris Lacey, who you're commonly known from Action Launcher 2 and Action Launcher 3.
And Tweet Lanes.
Oh, and Tweet Lanes, yes. I can forget about Tweet Lanes.
And Tap Path, but I don't know if he still does that.
I don't think he does. I think I know on a podcast that he was on just before Christmas, not one of his, it was someone else's, he was saying he was focusing more time on Action Launcher 3.
Fair enough.
So take that as a grain of salt. He sold on Link Bubble back in August of 2015, and it's now finally been given a new name from the new company that's brought it. I don't have the name of the company who brought it to hand.
I think it's just called Brave. I think the people behind it is the guy that created Mozilla, I think, or one of the early people in Firefox. And one of the things about Brave is they're blocking ads,
and
but they're replacing the ads with better ads that they think are nicer for the user, or something like that. And I was reading it and I was like, huh, well, that's
kind of nice. And the one thing I will mention is it is now free.
Yes, there was Link Bubble before was paid and or donatable, but you didn't have to donate to use the free version.
Same with Action Launcher 3.
It wasn't like a trial.
Yeah. Action Launcher 3 you pay for, and then there is an option to make another donation, which I can see.
Which I've done.
I keep meaning to, but keep failing to get around to it. Yeah, so it's free. It obviously has got some ad blocking and tracking protection, and if you don't know, air quotes. If you don't know what it is, it's basically the chat head of a web browser. So if you use Facebook Messenger, it's Facebook chat heads. So they couldn't call it that, so they didn't call it anything. They just said it makes little
bubbles,
circly things.
So if the way people are wondering if you're, I'm trying to think because Facebook and Twitter have their own built-in browsers now.
Yeah, I
Say you're
disabled
in
the
like,
one on Phoenix. I
yeah,
turned around and went, no, Chrome, please.
yeah. So basically, if you're going through your Twitter app and you click on a link, instead of like taking you out of whatever app you're in and into Chrome, it will start loading the page in a little bubble like a Facebook chat head, and you can carry on doing what you're doing. And when it's finished loading, you tap on it, open it, and then read the page. It was actually really cool, but it had for the longest time it had a real problem with like Snapdragon 400 devices, so like Moto Gs and stuff, and it made them just crawl to a halt.
Yeah, but so the one thing I will quickly point out as well is, you know, when you get an app on the Google Play Store, it comes up with like an author title. In Axel Much, it says Chris Lacey.
Mm-hmm.
With Brave, it says Link Bubble.
Yeah, because the company in stealth mode was called Link Bubble.
Oh, was it? I just thought it was a gimmicky thing so people would recognise it as Link Bubble.
No. Because it was originally by Chris Lacey. When he sold it, the company was still in stealth mode. So instead of like outing the company name and the developer, they just called it Link Bubble.
Oh, see, I didn't read that. I didn't read that far into it, but I just thought it was a cool little gimmicky thing that referenced it. And one thing I will say as well is, if you use an icon pack, like I do, I use Moco. Moco, is that the correct way to say it? Oh, well, there'll be a post of what's on my phone. Hey, Swift Transactions. On the 10th of March, so expect it then. It still shows the Link Bubble icon that was used for it when it was Link Bubble, if that makes sense.
So it's still got the purple icon.
It's still got the purple one, not the black, not the grey one with the lion's head.
Alright, so that'll probably be changed soon enough.
That'll be changed soon, but it's a cool little thing.
Alright, this next one, I don't actually know anything about this next one. I haven't really looked into it. So Chris, do you want to speak about this? And I think Mark's going to rebut whatever you say.
Yes, I know.
This is going to be good. I'm going to take like 5 minutes out here, so it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I've got something flashing on my desktop. So there's a Kickstarter for a power strip, and it may sound as stupid as you think it is. How can someone kickstart a power strip? Well, it's simple. It's the Project Aura of power strips.
Aura? You mean Project Aura?
Aura, however you pronounce it.
Two very different things. Aura has a U in it. Aura is A-R-A.
Look, I got an E in English, in language and literature. Cut me some slack. I got a D in French though, so don't know how that worked. So
how did you get a D in a non-native language and then your native I don't even know. Moving on. Chris,
that was common.
Christopher, talk about this power strip.
Yeah, so it's basically got little, what's the word I'm going to use? Interconnections? It's like Lego. You just slide these sections, so you get the cord, you get it looks like a very proprietary connection, and you just slot one in. So you can slot a USB hubs. So there's a 4-port one shown in the picture. I think there's a Qi charger possible, which, yes, sounds very compelling. And just, I think they're coming support for the UK plugs and all the other ones. But so far I see Europe and, Europe and
America.
That's the one. So I think it's cool. Mark seems to think it's a bit retarded. Was his exact words last night was,
yep.
That's retarded. And there appears to be a Bluetooth speaker as well. So your power strip has a Bluetooth speaker. How cool is that?
I must also say, Mark is sending me turntable, like expensive turntables, and I Slack chat, and this is now my favourite part of Slack.
The one that there's one for over $100,000.
Yeah.
And weighs 1/4 of a ton.
Speaking of things that are stupidly expensive, Bugatti unveiled the Chiron today, which is the successor to the Veyron. 1,500 brake horsepower, 8-litre W16 quad turbocharged engine, €2.4 million.
There is a key charging power line kit. It looks great. The main problem is going to be its proprietary connection. it's on Kickstarter, but Techno Buffalo don't appear. Oh, take that back. I was going to say they don't appear to have a link. So their goal is €50,000. They're currently at €75,000. So they've pretty much nailed it on the head. I'm going to keep an eye on it because I think it's kind of cool. I was going to say, what's your opinion, Don? Because I'm going to kind of leave Mark till last.
I try and hide power strips, so the smaller the better. As long as it has the amount of plugs I need, I can. As long as I can hide it, it's fine. The fact that this just gets ever longer is it's kind of annoying to me, I guess. I mean, it can be as small as I want, but like if I have the option to add more shit to it, I'm probably gonna start adding more shit to it, and then it's just gonna be like
the little GIF I see seems to have about three or four things connected at a time. So I'm not sure, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it because I kind of find it interesting.
I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, it's just like a modular power strip. So
the Qi charger does seem like a good idea. I will mention that.
I mean, I like Qi, and I'm still super up on wireless charging, but it's been so long since a device I've owned has had wireless charging.
Yeah. Although, can I just say, where is every single power strip in your home located?
True. This was the point I was going to get to.
Hidden on the floor behind a couch or something like that.
Yeah, which I'm thinking, do you really care if you can plug a Bluetooth speaker into it? No. Do you really care if you can plug a Qi charger into it? No. Do you care if you can plug anything into this? No. Essentially, it seems to me what they've done is they've re-engineered the wonderful and ubiquitous little figure of 8 power connector, and at the other end of it they've put in some smart, you can turn the power on and off using an app.
There's a Bluetooth module for
which that's
or Wi-Fi, I'm not
right,
sure.
okay, that bit as an independent, but the modular aspect of it, you've reinvented a proprietary figure of 8 adapter. That's it. That's like, why would I want this?
Yeah, I know what you mean about you tend to hide it.
I mean, and half the things that they've got, like the USB sockets, okay, well, every power adapter that I have is on the floor next to the skirting board, trying to be hidden away. What use is having USB sockets or a Qi charger or a speaker or anything? Am I ever going to be modular and plugging and re-plugging things into it? No, I'm going to plug it in and leave it. I'm going to buy a power adapter that costs £3 from Macklin, has 6 sockets. I'm going to throw it on the floor. Even if I only use one of them, who cares? It was dirt cheap and it's hidden on the floor and it can live there forever.
Oh yes, this is not going to be cheap, I will admit.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. It's a stupid product. Nobody's ever going to use this to then what? Have a power strip live on their desk, on their coffee table.
I was going to say, I've just done a review of the RAV Power 4-volt USB desktop charger, and one of the pictures that I put in was one that I tweeted on Instagram because my Instagram posts get tweeted because I find it easier that way. And I did have for the longest time, an extension lead on top of a chest of drawers, which I used to plug everything into. Just because I didn't have a USB desktop charger. And if I hadn't have brought the RAV Powerbolt, and this had you could buy it in the UK without having to import and get the UK modules, I would have been tempted to get this.
And how much is it?
They're not really saying, but
do you think it's going to be cheaper than you having just bought one of the RAV Power things?
Oh God, no.
Also, can I just say, if a fucking power plug is not telling you how much it's going to cost, that thing's going to cost too much.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the backers.
Basically, if it costs more than a tenner, it's too much, right? Yeah. Okay, because I mean, I bought from CPC.
For those of you listening to,
because I wanted black, and they were about £4 each. So I bought like 5 of them because I thought, yeah, I'll replace them all in the house. And of course I haven't, so they're all still sat in a box.
One word.
For those of you who are listening to the audio version of this, that was Mark getting up off of his chair and going to get a box of power sockets.
I will say it does have a power line socket, which I could see as being a good way of tidying your setup up. If you have shitty wireless, then again it only counts if.
Or you could just buy some power line adapters.
They stick out the wall though, and they get in the way.
Expensive if you want like more than.
They do get bloody expensive.
Okay, do we think this is going to be cheaper?
No,
Possibly,
and it has more uses.
My problem with Powerline is the fact that it's a problem with my house more than anything else.
I know where you're going with this.
My house is really old, and it's on 3 different stories, and there are 3 different electrical circuits in the entire house. So each floor has its own breaker and everything. It has its own fuse box. That means the power line will only work on 1 floor.
Yes, I was going to say that does become an issue with power line.
Unless I have a wireless extender with a USB, with an Ethernet port on every floor of the house, I cannot run power line to every floor. And I already have too much 2.4 gigahertz interference anyway, so don't need to add 2 more extenders.
Yeah, do you know what to do is just trail cable. Just trail cable.
I mean that's what I'm doing, but it's kind of like if I could afford it, I'd rip the walls out and just run.
I know.
You're a bit jealous of me then, that has walls that only takes a screwdriver and a light tap off a hammer and bang you're through.
Wow.
Yeah, walls.
That doesn't sound safe.
The walls are perfectly fine. The
walls are perfectly fine as long as the wind isn't too strong. It's fine.
No, this is the interior walls, just to clarify.
Okay.
The exterior walls are solid. I think they're brick. I hope they're brick.
I mean, I don't think there are any kind of false or interior wall. Every wall in this house I can find is just brick.
Yeah, these are like they're very flimsy, so they're not very thick.
Yeah,
so
the newer the build, the more likely you are to just have walls that are simply kind of plasterboard.
Yeah, no, this house is 150 years old.
Yeah, no, it will be.
It's about as old as Craig.
It's multiple layers of brick.
Yeah, so there's nothing you can do with that apart from. Although, assuming if it's an old house, you have carpet and not wooden floors.
Nope, we have tiles and parquet flooring.
Ah, well.
There's literally nowhere for it to hide.
Well, in that case, it's just get a cable and just
bear it.
Rail it across the floor.
Yeah.
And that's currently what I'm doing. With the new faster internet, Powerline wasn't quick enough to transmit the internet. So I have an Ethernet cable just simply trailing diagonally across the hallway.
How is the new internet, by the way?
Sorry?
How is the new internet?
It's really good.
Is it nice having internet that's like 8 times faster? Sorry, 10 times faster on the down.
It's at least 10 times faster than it used to be. Especially, and up, it's like 20 odd times faster, and it runs at 80/20 constantly. So for all the bad mouthing that TalkTalk get.
By the way, I'm still having like tremendous trouble with my BT connection. Like,
I was say, how's your BT Tesco value BT connection coming along?
That's how it feels sometimes, but that is definitely not what I'm paying for. For those of you that are wondering, I pay for 80/20 for 76.19, whatever they fucking say, from BT. And for like the first 6 months, it was actually like fine. It was running that all the time. And then for a couple of weeks, it dropped to 60/20. And then
it came back again.
And then like it didn't go higher. It stayed at 60/20.
I swear it came back for a bit.
No, I thought it did. I looked and it didn't. And then it dropped down to like 45/20, where it stayed for like a week. I rung up BT and they were like, let's see what we can do. And first off, they said they'd call back. They never called back. So I called them back.
The telecoms monopolist wasn't nice and didn't give you good customer service. No.
Not only that,
shocked.
the telecom monopolist, was also just allowed to buy the biggest mobile network in the country without getting rid of their infrastructure arm. That's something that's someone's going to gloss over. Basically, I'm still paying for 80/20 and getting 55/20. Which again is better than.
I'm sure you could always just opt to not give BT any money whatsoever. Yeah.
And live on broadband.
It's literally better service than every other ISP I've had since I've been here, and I've been with Sky and TalkTalk.
Although BT still own the line. I mean, they literally, you cannot not pay them money
unless you live in an area with Virgin.
Yes.
And I mean, if I'm gonna pay them money, I might as well pay them like serious amounts of money. I'm genuinely seeing as it's about 75 feet to the cabinet. I'm seeing how much it'd cost to get fiber to the premises from.
75 feet. It'll be not cheap, but
no,
I don't
we're
think
talking near
it'll be
4
thousands.
Yeah, we're talking like 4 digits.
Yeah. I mean, BT will want to charge you thousands.
I think they have a £500 like just set rate, and then every certain amount is when they add more money. So either way, like. Mark has better internet for once, and he doesn't sound like a Cylon.
No, that was the webcam drivers. We established what that was in the end.
I mean, no, it was still having issues anyway. Basically, also, once we have to upload the audio, it doesn't take like 6 hours for Mark's audio to upload. Seeing as
what I ended up just having to do was, as soon as the Hangout finished, I would disconnect the Ethernet socket in the computer and then switch it over to Wi-Fi and tether it to the mobile.
This is the things we have to deal with, people.
Yeah, I kind of still have to do. I don't do that. I just painfully wait for it to go. I got by about 0.1 of a meg a second. So you take what do I normally get, about 20 or 30, say 40 meg file. If I just happen to be sitting at my computer, it is fucking tedious as fuck.
What are you saving it as? Because I got like 75 meg files.
Whatever it's automatically set to.
Oh, okay. Something must be weird with mine.
I may have fiddled with some settings at some point.
Anyway, I think we're actually kind of off topic here.
Slightly.
We've only got 2 left, and I kind of want to keep this as close to an hour as possible.
We're getting there slowly.
Well, these last 2 are actually super fast. So WhatsApp has announced they're going to stop supporting BlackBerry and I think it's Symbian S60 and S40.
Oh yeah, there was a whole list of ones. S40, S60, Android 2.1, Android 2.2, and Windows Phone 7.1, as well as BlackBerry OS and BlackBerry 10.
Basically, all the shit you shouldn't be using in the first place.
Yeah, pretty much. If it's not new, if it's not like if it's not half-decade owned Android or recent iOS, you're not using WhatsApp anymore.
Question to viewers/listeners: is anyone actually using any of these OSs that WhatsApp is killing support for?
If you are, you shouldn't.
Well, no. I want to know, are you using Android 2.1
I don't know anybody on BlackBerry anymore.
Not
a BlackBerry OS. BlackBerry, not the proof.
Yeah, I mean, is there anyone using these still?
2 relics here. I
but you don't use those.
I actually do use my Z30 quite often. Just not for WhatsApp.
What do you use your Z30 for?
It's actually just like the hub is strangely good. Terrible camera. I kind of just use it as almost like a mini tablet. And even then, like the BlackBerry browser is kind of terrible. I don't even really know
what I use the M7 for.
Kind of, yeah.
I can't be asked by can't be asked by a tablet. Very rarely need a tablet. I just use it when the M8 dies and I've got it on charge, just so it helps to pick up and not be disconnected whilst I go about my daily business.
So like I was saying, these are 2 pretty quick topics. So it said by the end of 2016 this will occur. Like I said, if you're using any of those platforms, you shouldn't be anyway. And there's not really much more to say. And lastly, this is actually quite interesting to me, is Oppo showed...
Are you going to geek out, Dom?
I'm going to try not to. They've shown that they can charge a 2,500 mAh battery, which... for reference, is essentially the size of the Galaxy S6 battery. I think it was like 2550. So they can charge that battery in 15 minutes. Or a 45% charge in 5 minutes.
That's going to damage batteries over time, though.
Yeah,
they said it won't because of the way it's running a continuous 5 volts, whereas everyone else is high. The thing that's worrying me, they keep saying, don't worry, we're only running at 5 volts. They're not telling me what the amperage is.
Wait till somebody gets hold of one and looks at the plug, then it'll be all over the internet.
That's fine, but like the previous version of VOOC, which didn't get anywhere near these speeds, was running 5 volts, 5 amps.
Okay, this is going to kill batteries, because
no matter what they say, it's going to kill.
Yeah, I mean, that's so stupid. 2, I'm waiting for one of the batteries to explode.
Yes.
Because one of them, they are going to explode, and it is going to be a violent explosion. I mean, it's not going to be subtle. It's not going to be the little gentle from your Nexus 4 when the battery was going, and it just kind of puffed up a little bit and expanded.
It's going to be violent.
It's going to be it's going to be a power bar, right?
Tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be the hoverboards. It's going to be the next hoverboard.
I think it's going to be worse than that. I think it's going to be like pressurized, like it's going to be like iPhones on planes, where it's a pressurized cabin and it goes. Yeah. Like I said, they're specifically saying like the low voltage stuff, whereas Qualcomm and MediaTek are using like 9 or 12 or 15 volts. What are they saying? VOOC flash charge adds an intelligent MCU, a flash core adapter in order to achieve revolutionary voltage, open loop, and multi-stage constant current charging. I want to test these claims, and they specifically made their presentation 15 minutes long. So at the beginning of the event, they plugged in this prototype. There's not even any shipping devices yet. They plugged in this prototype, and by the end, they were like, "Oh, by the way, it's charged." Works over micro USB and Type C. You will need a special cable in order to do this. Because the micro B end is actually longer because it needs to carry longer, thicker pins. I think the Find 7 also had like the VOOC charger on there had like a super long micro B port.
Also, to make number 3, not just is the battery going to go kaboom, somebody is going to use this with an ordinary cable or a cheap-ass cable, and oh my god!
Like we were saying about the Type C problems.
Yes,
it's going to be similar stuff.
I predict
are stupid.
If this gets like mainstream, there will be before like 2016 is out. That there will be a photo in a news article with a house with flames belching out of the windows, and that will be the cause.
And this is where Oppo will go into insolvency. So that is it from the news. And actually pretty much under an hour. I'm actually kind of impressed. So upcoming articles. Chris, you have the A9 review coming up soon, don't you, in a couple of days?
Yeah, I have that on the 2nd of March, and on the 4th of March, there is the RAV Power 4 Bolt 4 port USB desktop charger. Fucking hell. Review.
I think it's the RAV Power Bolt, 4 port USB adapter.
Yeah. And
otherwise known as the USB charging thingy.
That I just brought and reviewed, yes. And I will mention it, and I'll probably mention it again next week. I did a What's on My Phone style article just to kind of slot in, and that will be going live on the 10th of March, so that's not next week, the week after.
I think I'm going to do one the week after you do.
I did put in there basically pester you lot on Twitter to do one.
Oh, thanks. thanks for that.
Not so many words.
So I'd like to thank Chris for putting this topic in, because if you don't know, Chris actually did the rundown this week because I was swamped.
And if you didn't know, I could give you some more information. Initially, when we started after the second podcast, for 3 or 4 weeks, I was doing the podcast note sheet.
Well, there you go.
So there's some more useless information.
and people are going to forget about it. So the topic Chris has posed this week is app drawer or no app drawer. So this is in who's got a siren or anything going off near them?
Nope, not me.
No.
I don't know, that could have been me. I live next to a big main road.
It was the way Mark's eyes just went from side to side.
Well, I wasn't sure whether it was coming through the headphones.
Yeah.
These are quite open, so it's like, well, I don't know, it could be from them or outside.
So because the LG G5 doesn't come with a app launcher standard, it throws everything on the home screen. You can bring the app drawer back, and the Galaxy S7 has an option buried within its settings to remove the app drawer. I think it was Android Authority or Android Please, or someone in one of the Android sites has essentially unearthed that Android N, the next version of Android, may not have an app drawer by default. It might have been Android Central. It's one of those Android enthusiast sites. They may not have it may not have an app drawer standard. This I will go first this week. This will annoy the shit out of me. For those of you who don't know, I use the Google Now launcher until like 2 days ago. I use the Google Now launcher everywhere for one reason, which is Google Now to that side panel, and that is no matter what launcher I'd use, I go back to Google Now because I love that panel. There are ways for me to like put shortcuts in, like a side swipe, a double tap, whatever. I can do it. Those always feel so hacky to me.
Hacky.
But yeah, because it feels like you're launching the app on the Google Now launcher. It's just always there.
That's true. I mean, it was just the way you were.
It's a very different feel.
Yeah, it was the way you used hacky. I was like, how are you?
Fine. It's not hacky. It's very kludgy or kludgy, however you say it.
Kludgy, I think is how you say it.
Yeah, it annoys me.
Kludgy, same thing.
Whereas on the Google Now launcher, again, it's so integrated, so smooth, and of course it should be. It's Google's own damn product. So I'm currently using Action Launcher, or I'm transitioning to Action Launcher, and with like custom setup launches to do Google Now and stuff.
2 or 3?
Huh? 3, but I've paid for both, and I'm a contributor again yearly for 3. Just in case Google does get rid of the app drawer in the Google Now launcher.
So. They'll be uproar to do that. I can see them getting rid of it in like the next vanilla Android is the word I'm looking for. I can see them get rid of it in vanilla Android, not a problem. If they take it from the Google Now launcher, they are going to be on very, 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 very minusculely fine ice.
Well, the launcher, I think it was called Launcher 3, is the AOSP launcher, is still essentially the KitKat launcher, the ICS type launcher where it's like the horizontal pages. It's not even on the white cards from stuff. So like the AOSP launcher is like super dated, and stock Android devices have been coming with the Google Now launcher since 4.4 or 4.3. No, it was KitKat with 4.4. It was the Nexus 5. Yeah, it was with the Nexus 5 I meant. So since then they've shipped with the Google Now launcher, and so yeah, if they drop it in Google Now launcher, that means everyone who's got the Google Now launcher installed will no longer have an app drawer, which will annoy the shit out of me. Mark, what do you think?
I don't like the precedent. I don't like the idea that Google is going to be taking this away. But at the moment, I think it's highly speculative.
Yes.
So far, all that's happened is LG has removed it by default, and Samsung has put in an option to remove it. So
there has also been code that's been unearthed from recent update logs for the Google Now launcher that hints that they might rip it out.
It hints, but until it actually comes out, who knows?
Yeah. Again, it's highly speculative at this point.
It feels like two Far East companies have essentially done something that is going to be a plus in the Chinese market. I just can't kind of care. And so long as you can use custom launchers as well.
I don't think they'll take that away from us.
I
No,
use
no, what?
Nova, so this doesn't affect me in the slightest.
Like I said, if they take it out of the Google Now launcher, I'll be pissed. If they take it out but give you an option to put it back in, I'll be fine. As long as the option is there.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking. The fact they give you the option is nice, but it's EMUI all over again.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
And
gonna
before we go down that hole and I like rant on like Huawei on a EMUI team and then I never get a device again, I'm gonna wrap up this podcast.
That was swift.
Yeah, I know, right?
We're getting good at this. Anyone would think we're starting to be professionals now.
God, Chris. Every time I try and make it smooth. So, thank you for joining us for episode 15 of Talking Tech, which is the post-MWC crash. I have Mark and Chris. They are at Mark2410 and at ChrisWallace959 on Twitter. I am at mobile_dom, and the site is at mttfeed. You can find the website at www.mobiletechtalk.co.uk. On Instagram, we are MobileTechTalk. Facebook, we are MobileTechTalk UK. YouTube and Google+, just search for MobileTechTalk because they won't give us a custom URL. And lastly, our Patreon, patreon.com/MobileTechTalk. If you give us some money, we can make better shit for you. Thank you for
breathe.
Pardon?
And breathe.
Yeah, no, I'm getting really good at taking huge breaths before I start that stuff now. Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me this week, fellas.
Yep.
Until then, see ya. Bye.
Toodles.
Bye.
And I've lost